What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning into Stock Essentials. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be going over BlackBerry stock. But first, we're going to be taking a look at this amazing, insane trader on WallStreetBets putting in $6 million worth into BlackBerry positions. He has a bunch of shares. He has a bunch of call options. He's just going all in on BlackBerry. $6.1 million. And so far, he's up 13%, which is $732,000 gain, which is insane. Guys, check this out. He's all in on BlackBerry. He's very, very bullish on BlackBerry. His average price is at around $13.33. So as we can see here on BlackBerry, it's pretty flat right now. But overall, he's still up on his positions. Mostly the calls. All of his call options are seeing some pretty good returns. But for his shares, he's pretty flat. So let's see. It's very interesting to see what will happen with BlackBerry. Any huge price movement with BlackBerry, and this guy is going to make a ton of money. A small price movement is going to give him thousands of dollars. As we can see here, 13% is six figures, almost $1 million, which is nuts. So this guy's taking a huge risk. But let's get back to BlackBerry. Earnings is on the 24th. So how should you play earnings? I think if you're bullish on BlackBerry, now would be a good time to buy shares. I think around this $13 price point is still a good, pretty cheap price. On WallStreetBets as well as Twitter, BlackBerry is still one of the most talked about stocks. One of the top 5 most talked about stocks on those platforms. So there's still a lot of people who believe in this company, in BlackBerry. It's considered a meme stock, but it also has a lot of potential. And especially with earnings, their estimated earnings is pretty low. They're anticipating negative 5 cents per share. So if anything, if they report positive news, this stock could see a pretty big increase in price. As we can see with the previous earnings, they've all had positive earnings in the past. So it's very interesting to see what earnings will happen on June 24th after hours when they report their earnings. So if you want to play earnings on BlackBerry, it's going to be a pretty volatile day, I would say. So right now at 13.30 cents, it's a good buy. If you want to play options, I highly recommend, instead of buying calls, those are pretty risky. If the stock ends up staying flat, you're pretty much going to be losing all your money because of IV crush, which is going to happen after they report earnings. So in order to make profit on calls, you're going to need a huge upwards movement on BlackBerry stock. So if you want a higher probability of winning, it would be to sell options in order to capitalize on the premium as well as the IV crush. So I would recommend something like a July 2nd or July 9th. Let's try a July 9th. Give us a little bit more time so we can collect a little bit more premium. If you're holding 100 shares, it would be a pretty good idea to sell covered calls. But if I was holding shares, I would just hold the shares and just hope that the stock skyrockets. But if you're not a shareholder, you want to play options, a good strategy would be to sell cash secured puts. And the best thing about it is BlackBerry is a stock where the stock price isn't that expensive. It's only $13 per share. So you won't need too much collateral in order to sell these cash secured puts. So you could do something like a $12.50 put. You will need about $1,200 of collateral in order to sell this cash secured put. As we can see, collateral $12.50, and we're collecting a credit of $95. So my strategy with this is waiting until after earnings, and if the stock goes up or goes flat, most of the premium on this contract is going to be bleeding out, and then you can generally close out the contracts the next day for most of your profit. So that's one of my favorite ways to play earnings, and especially with how volatile BlackBerry is, it's going to be a pretty hefty profit the next day. So if you're pretty bullish on it, of course, you can change up the strikes. Sell the $13 strike if you're really bullish. Sell the 13.5 strike if you're still bullish as well. And as long as the stock stays flat or slightly down, or of course, if it skyrockets, you're going to be making money. As long as the stock does not completely tank to the ground, you're going to be making some profit after earnings due to the time decay as well as the IV crash. So that's my take on BlackBerry. Keep your eyes out on the stock for earnings. It's going to be pretty volatile. Leave a like if you like the video. Comment down below if you're going to be entering BlackBerry, if you have any questions. And of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. It helps out a lot. Thanks for watching.